In this video, I'm going to show you how to actually pull data from Amazon ASINs and have that data printed into Google Sheets directly. And you're going to do that using a Chrome extension that I actually created that you can download from me directly in the video. But first of all, I'd like to show you how it actually works. The installation is explained in a separate video and it's a short process. But for this video, I'm going to show you how to actually use the Chrome extension. So first of all, you have to have a spreadsheet like this with a list of ASINs. This is a template that I do provide, so you can get this template from me and use it as well. And you have to have a list of ASINs. The data is going to be pulled from these ASINs and printed onto another sheet. It can be in the same Google Sheet or it can be in a separate Google Sheet if you want it to be, right? Now, first of all, I'm going to activate the Chrome extension over here. Once you've installed it, you'll be able to activate it, right? Then I will run it and it will ask for input parameters. Now, first of all, you have to tell it where the spreadsheet is, right? What spreadsheet are you actually using? So very important that when you copy the spreadsheet URL that you're actually clicking on the ASIN sheet. When you click to a different sheet, notice that the ID numbers change here in the URL. It's technically a different URL per sheet, okay? So you actually have to make sure you're on that sheet with the ASINs on it. And the sheet does not have to be called ASINs, but it just has to have ASINs on it. All right, the input column defaults to A based on my template, but if you have your ASINs over here, you can use F, whatever your column is. The first row that has an ASIN on it, where I'm going to start pulling ASINs data, is 2. So that's going to be row 2. That's also a default. Then we have the output spreadsheet ID. This is a little bit more to explain, but not a lot. The spreadsheet ID is actually the same for the whole spreadsheet, the whole Google Sheet. And is this section in between D/ and edit/. You can just kind of highlight it as I did in between and copy it. That is your spreadsheet ID, output ID in this case, where I'm going to put the output. And then you also need to provide the name of the sheet because the sheet ID only refers to the whole Google Sheet. It does not specify. So you have to specify the sheet by name, which is product data. Now we did that. Override is the default. What you want to do is overwrite the sheet. So ideally, the way you're supposed to use this is that you're supposed to have a blank sheet that where you're going to initiate this process of printing data, okay, into a blank sheet. All right. Then for the output interval, the output interval is the number of products that it will read before it prints any data. When you have a long list, you don't necessarily want it to keep printing each product every time it scans it because it hits the Google Sheets write API often. Sometimes it gives me an issue, so I slowed it down, so to speak, or have it print less often by putting an interval. However, for this video, I'm going to use 1, an output interval of 1, so that you can see the results of it right away. But again, when you run a long list of ASINs, you don't need the data to print on every single row. So you can wait until it collects, say, 5 rows, and then start printing the data. So here we go. It immediately goes to cell A2, as you can see on that Google Sheet, pulls off the URL, opens that URL on Amazon. Well, actually reads the ASIN and then it constructs a URL, opens that URL, and right now it is reading the data. If you go to run in workflows, you can see what it's actually doing. It's inserting data, as it says here. But let me put it back and make sure that it can read the data. So, you know, technically you don't have to be on that tab. You could be over here and it's going to work. Now, one thing is that, let's see, it might close the tab when it's done. I don't remember if it closes this Amazon tab, but you'll see that the Google Sheets tab will close after each Google Sheet, and it will close all of your Google Sheets tabs. Amazon, it seems like the Amazon tab might actually stay open, and yeah, it does, and it's still, now it's finished pulling the data, so it will move on to the next ASIN. See, 3. Now I'm actually going to stop it intentionally. I'm going to go to run in workflows and actually stop this process completely. Now, normally that's not what you will want to do, but I'm doing that because I need to show you the result. So here are the results. Okay, ASIN, product URL, title, price, features, description, brand, ships from, and sold by. Right? And you can see that for that product, that first product. Okay, but the product is closed now. Or is this it? Actually, no, yeah, the product is still open. Amazon Basics, to apply. So you can see that the data is the same. Right? Amazon Basics, to apply. You can see the title, brand, and all of that. Right? So that's basically how it works. And now you should be able to continue it as well and continue from a row. So like how we left off at row 3, we want to continue from row 3. You should be able to continue from row 3. Ideally, I mean, this is not ideally the way you want to use it. You don't ideally want to stop and restart it this way. So something to keep in mind. But sorry, I keep going back to the recording program. So input spreadsheet URL. I am going to go ahead and try to demonstrate the continuation process. I'm just pasting the same stuff as before, but now I'm starting from row 3 instead. And I'm going to put the spreadsheet ID. So I'm going to try to do this fast to see if I can demonstrate. If you think you've seen enough and you want to go ahead and download the Chrome extension, I mean, you can go ahead and do that. And then here's the product data sheet again, same thing. I'm going to turn off this overwrite so that it continues instead of overwriting. And I'm going to set the output interval to 1. So let's see how this works out. I'll click run now and let's see how this works out. Okay. Let's see how it works out. So it does go to cell A3 as it should to read the ASIN from that cell. And now again, it should construct a URL from that ASIN. And we should be able to see that URL once it's constructed. It does open. I thought I had programmed it to close the Amazon tabs. Apparently, I think I did it, and then I probably turned it off to do something and forgot to turn it back off. Okay, so it will keep opening these Amazon windows, which could, if you have a long list, you could end up with a lot of them. So I'm going to have to update that because the version 1.0 is already out. So I can't take it back, but what I will do is update this. And plus I have other things to update as well. I might want to add data, more data and other things like that anyway, but yeah. So it will keep opening tabs, version 1.0, Amazon tabs. Okay, so you might want to close these at some point if they get too plentiful. You do have like different options, like close tabs to the right, things like that. You can try to do different options to close multiple tabs if you need to. But that is something I'll probably have to change. Okay, anyway. I just want to see what it is doing. It is now looking at cell A4. All right. And depending on the speed of your machine, this machine I'm on right now, demonstrating on, is a little slow. So, it's going to make the process slower also. So, I can wait for this, or I could stop it. Let's see. It's doing get text. If you can bear with me if you're watching the video. I'm sorry for the length of the video. I meant to make this a short one, really, but okay. I'm gonna go ahead and stop. I'm gonna just take a chance and stop that and see where it left off. Hopefully, it appended something like another row of data. I'm hoping. Okay. Well, it didn't. So I have to go back and check that out. Okay, it didn't actually append row 3, which it should have appended it. I'll go back and check and see if there's an issue there. But basically, if you run it the way I first started it and you just let it run and don't keep stopping it as I was doing to demonstrate it for the video, it'll work better, I would imagine, right? It'll just keep going, it'll just keep going. So just go ahead and try it. Let me know, give me feedback. This Chrome extension is free as of today, and it's the only automation that is on this Chrome extension right now. I haven't added other automations yet. All right, so just go ahead and do it. Check it out, see how that works out. And the installation demo, I have that as well, so you can actually see how to install it and all that. So anyway, that's it. This is a tool I put together. I hope it helps. I hope it's helpful. I hope it's effective and it's functional. right? So just check it out. Let me know how it works, and that's it. I do have lots of other spreadsheets. If you're not familiar with my spreadsheets, I have a lot like other spreadsheets. Well, this is a Chrome extension, first of all, with a spreadsheet template, but I have actual spreadsheets that do things like source products, automatically searches the ASINs on the web and finds sources, or searches products on the web and finds ASINs. I have various spreadsheets you can check out on the channel as well. So that's about it. I'm Mr. Mark, Smart Teach Tools for Sellers. I hope you found this helpful, and I look forward to hearing from you or seeing you around in another video.